The mental game. Hey, I'm Daron Rahlves of Ski Racing Tips, covering the mental game for ski racers. In the starting gate, the last few seconds, this is what we live for. Time to put to a test exactly all the work that we put in. That moment where it's time to crush it. So you've heard this plenty of times before, how important the mental game is. You put so much time into physical training, skiing, equipment, and all that. You have to also put a lot of time into the mental side of the sport. And so there's three things we're going to cover. One being define your path, two, imagery, and three, keywords. So define your path. I mean, I've always written things down and use like a ski journal. Here's my ski racing journal by Elite Team. There's tons of great information in there, stuff to kind of like get your mind processing things. But for me, it was writing down goals, realistic goals and wish goals, short-term, long-term, like what I want to accomplish this season, what I want to accomplish in my career. And it all had to do with writing them down and owning them. And so then I had to find a path. I had to figure out my path, and I used my coaches to discuss all this stuff, but what I had to do to get there. And you can't think about the results. You got to think about the journey, the actual effort you need to put in. And so, a major part of any athlete's performance, the performance outcome, is due to the confidence, due to the mental strength, confidence you have. And so, I mean, you could dial in your skis, the right tune and wax, but you have to bring confidence. It's the fastest thing you could bring to the starting gate. Put the work in, invest in yourself. I mean, really pay attention to this mental aspect of the sport, and maybe you'll get there someday. Fastest time in Birds of Prey still to this day. We're gonna hop over to a little Bormio because this was another one that I really kind of like loved. It was the most challenging race out there. It was just physically, it was the most challenging race, hands down. And relentless, action-packed, top to bottom, super fun to ski, but it took a lot out of you. And you had to train, or I trained harder than I would actually have to race at. So I knew I could compete and keep pushing all the way to the bottom. So we covered define your path, some goals that I just talked about. A physical goal of mine was be able to train where I could go hard, 100% top to bottom in Bormio or Adalbode and GS. A technical goal of mine would be going deep in the turn, starting a really clean entry, stand on it, generating speed. Tactical goal of trimming down line, working the terrain to my advantage, trying to milk everything I could out of the speed that was available on the hill. And performance goals, like wrote them down. Like I want to win 5 downhills or in the season and be consistent in the other races. I put a lot of time in to rehearsing, on the mental side, watching video like this and running through my head, close my eyes, run through my head exactly how I want to ski it to the best of my ability. And I did that for Beaver Creek, Bormio, Wengen, Kitzbühel, Kafitfield. Those 5 I really spent a lot of time on. Those are my 5 best races every season. So attach a feeling to imagery. It's really important because you kind of really, you immerse yourself a little deeper and a little more in that moment. So a pro tip for me would be to start the clock in the starting gate as you're kicking out in your head and take it all the way to the finish. Like see how close you can be, as realistic as you can be, start to finish in your mind as you would actually be on the hill. And then keywords. Keywords are really important. I actually wrote crush it inside my helmet. So the last thing I'd see when I put my helmet on up at the start after warming up would be crush it. And that was kind of a keyword there. I use other keywords. I mean, from flat sections to steep pitches, say the flyaway at Beaver Creek into the brink, I would have like a keyword like get it, you know, like it's time to go. And the intensity had to ramp up from being really relaxed, gliding, to like all in on that one. Just make time to work on your mental game. Invest in yourself. I mean, you'll be crushing it more and more the more mental effort you put into anything in life, and especially ski racing. So put it to the test. Put yourself to the test. Get after it.